balancing acts. One area where we need to look at the balance is our inner world and our outer world. And actually it's a spectrum, because there's a deep, 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 quiet, ancient, eternal inner world. And then you come slowly out into the immediate outer world of silence, of your solitude when you enter the outer world. And then you go further and further into the outer world, which is through your audio and visual perception, and then further through other devices and means, until we actually are connected with the entire world. I find there is quite a deep connection between the way we think about things in spiritual practice and how technology has developed, at least certain aspects of communications technology and maybe other technologies as well. And where actually are we? Because physically we may be somewhere, but because of so much use of computer technology, communications technology, and how we think, even how we think about thought, that it's actually fairly rare for us to actually be mentally where we are physically. I think a lot of the time we are mentally where we're mentally focused on, and then we completely leave our physical surroundings behind, and we actually project ourselves almost totally into wherever we are focused on mentally. And this gives us a certain special kind of freedom. I can be sitting here in London, and I can be talking to someone in Johannesburg, and on another application I'm talking to somebody else in Beirut, and I'm also on another chat with someone in India, and I can shift between all these conversations and have them running simultaneously. And of course we have to be careful not to get them mixed up. But I think it's quite normal nowadays for us to be in several different countries at the same time mentally, while physically being in some totally different one that we're not much concerned with, because that's only where the physical body is. So I think sometimes this can cause us to get disconnected from ourselves. And so the balance of the inner world all the way to the outer world, that whole spectrum, is something that we need to think about. And one interesting exercise I think that one can do in between these extremes of shifting our mental positioning is to take moments to return to our, you can call it your true self or your true place. And I think we have to actually practice determining for ourselves, what is my true place? And for many people, it's where they are physically, their home, for example, their room where they spend most time. But for me, it is actually an inner place. Partly because physically I move around quite a lot, and so I haven't necessarily formed such deep attachments with physical places to identify with. But there's an inner place inside myself, which is my, you can say my inner room, where I return to. And it's not so deep as the deepest part of myself where I will go to when I'm in deep meditation, nor is it an external place. And I think keeping myself in that middle zone, you can say, gives me easy access to the deep inner and the faraway outer. And I think that practicing to do this in between things helps to keep us grounded and stable and steady. And I think when a person feels stable and steady, they feel, I think, quite ready for any event or occurrence or situation, because it's you can even use the word your ground of being for this.